Hello students, welcome back. So we discussed about the theory behind DC motors. Now we are going to test them using Tinkercad. So now we are going to drag one Arduino first of all, and here we have two types of DC motors. We can take any one. This one is without gears, this is with gears. So let me take the motor with gears, and for better connections let us take one breadboard also. So now we have the requirements. So if you look at the motor, there are two terminals, negative and positive. If you give them proper polarity of voltage supply, it will rotate in clockwise direction, otherwise in the anti-clockwise direction. So I am going to rotate this, and now I am going to supply first of all ground and VCC to my board. So here we have ground and VCC. So as usual, we are going to keep the color codes, and then I am going to supply the same on the other end also. Now the board is having the supply on both sides. So very simple, without any programming. If I simply take this negative to the negative and positive to the positive, and I run the simulation, so you can see this motor is running at 170 rpm, and if you make the connection in the opposite way, it will run at minus 170 rpm. So let me delete it and let me control this motor with Arduino output. Now I go to the code and I go to the text code, and here I am going to control my motor with pin number 13, and I say simply keep the motor high, always keep it running, don't switch it off. So that's it. Now what I need to do, from pin number 13 I need to connect my output to the positive of the motor. You can give it any color that you prefer. So now the Arduino digital output pin number 13 is going to control our motor, and I start the simulation, and you can see it is rotating at 51 rpm. It is not rotating at the maximum speed. The reason is we are not giving enough current from the output pins. So if we want to give more current, then we have to use L293D. You can search L293D here. This is a 14 pin IC, and as we had told you, all the IC should be placed in the center. First of all, I have to give ground and VCC to this IC. Okay, so where is all of them? Enable means I want to enable the IC or not. That means it should be high. Input 1, output 1, ground, ground, output 2, input 2, and power. So let us start connecting them. So enable will go to positive, power will also go to positive, grounds will be negative, here also ground will be negative. On the other side also you have to do the same thing. These two are ground, so connect them to the negative, this one also, and then this one is enable, so it will go to positive. All the positives we are keeping red color, and this is power, we are going to give it red. Now on L293D there are 4 inputs and 4 outputs. So I am going to disconnect this wire from here, and from pin number 13 I am going to connect it to any of the input. So let us say here. So this is my connection which is coming as input from pin number 13. Now the output of corresponding, this is input 3, this is output 3. This output is going to go to the motor. Okay. Now if I run the simulation, you can see it is rotating at 156 rpm. Now the additional current is being provided by L293D. So this is how you connect a DC motor with or without L293D. You can also control both the terminals of your motor with L293D. So how to do that? I am going to remove this ground from here and I am going to go to my code first, and I say pin number 12 is also my output pin, and digital write pin number 12 as low. So this will be low. Okay. Now from here is output 4, input 4. So input 4 I am going to connect at pin number 12. Fine. Now once this is done, the output 4 will go to the other terminal of my motor. So here once these connections are done and I run the simulation, so now you can see both the terminals pin number 12 and 13, they are going to L293D, and the output is controlling the speed of the motor. If you want to change the direction of rotation, now we can do it very conveniently by changing our code. So we go to the code and I say 13 is low and 12 is high. That's all. Now you can see it is minus 143 rpm. So controlling DC motor should be very easy task now. So now we know how to handle DC motor. We are going to see one more motor called servo motor in our next video. Thank you.